Hey, let me introduce you to Tunde Banjoko, who's the CEO of LEAP, which is an organisation that helps the long-term unemployed, but it's facing being shut down now because of lack of funding. Tunde, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dotun. Good evening.
Yeah, so LEAP, tell us exactly what LEAP stands for.
LEAP stands for Local Employment Access Projects. It's a fantastic organisation that's helped over 4,000 people into work, does a lot of stuff for the local community, has trained people all over the country as far afield as Scotland and Northern Ireland, and is seen as an example of good practice in what we do. It's an absolutely fantastic organisation.
Oh, you would say that, wouldn't you?
I would say that, but I'm not the only person who says that. There's a number of government publications that say that. I was awarded an OBE last year for services to training and employment.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And today, again, I featured on the Independent on Sunday's Happy List. So the organisation and my colleagues are obviously doing a lot right.
Happy List, what's that?
It's a list that's supposed to be an alternative to the Sunday Times Rich List. It focuses on 100 people in the UK who are contributing to the social well-being of the country, and I'm fortunate enough to be one of them.
Right, so what do you do? What does LEAP do to get people long-term unemployed back into work that other bodies don't do?
We train them, we work with them, we boost their confidence, self-esteem, we teach them the skills, behaviours and attitudes that they need to succeed in life. We really work with them, provide them a whole range of services, and most importantly of all, we help them into jobs and we help keep them there.
You keep saying them, but they are individuals, and I imagine every individual requires a specific attention.
Absolutely, and we provide that. We provide a whole range of services. We provide therapeutic counselling, we provide training, we provide lots of services aimed at helping people into work, and we do it very, very well.
And you would have thought that in the recession, where, let's face it, in a year or two, there will be several people, many people who are long-term unemployed, classed as, that you would be an organisation that was needed now.
Most definitely. To be honest, this is unemployment's at its highest in a generation, and it's absolutely beyond belief that we could be in this current situation.
So why is your funding being cut?
Our funding's not being cut. Our funding ran out on the 31st of March, and as yet we haven't got any new funding. We're hoping that's going to be the case. In the meantime, we're using our reserves, so we're actually paying for the privilege to serve unemployed people and help them into work.
When you say we, who, you?
Yes, LEAP. LEAP over the years, 16 years, has run itself very, very well. Great financial responsibility, always hit our targets. And as a result, we have a little bit of money in the bank that we're using to stay afloat until the funding comes along. And
in which sense are you funding the long-term unemployed yourselves now?
Because it's the organisation's money that it's saved.
No, I understand, but what are you actually funding? What aspects?
The training, everything. So everything we do at the moment, LEAP's paying for. We're not getting any funding for it. So all our services, the training, the contacting employers, the help with CVs, application forms, the confidence, the counselling, the personal development, everything we do, we are paying for.
But why do that?
Because the service is important, it's really, really needed, and it's not something that should be closed down. So we're keeping it going until whoever it is sees sense and makes sure that they start to fund this work.
Okay, in a moment we'll find out whoever it is that needs to see sense. Tunde Banjoko is in the studio with me. He's the CEO of LEAP, an organisation that helps the long-term unemployed. Just before we went to the news and travel today, you were telling me that you yourself, or the organisation, is having to fund the long-term unemployed, whereas you would have thought that that was the job of the government, the DHSS, you know, those organisations.
Absolutely. It should be the job of the government or London government to fund what we do. It costs us about £3,500 for every person we help into work, but it's actually cheap at the price, because the cost to the exchequer of paying benefits and the loss of tax revenue is more than double that.
Yeah, but why should you be paying that money? Why not just cut off the funding yourselves now and say, well, that's it, let's shut up shop until we get more funding and people wake up, smell the coffee and realise that we were doing a good job and prolong our funding?
Because people still coming through our doors. People still want our service.
Are they your responsibility? responsibility. They're not, are you? You're letting the government off the hook by taking the responsibility on.
What we're doing is continuing a vital service, a service that people need, a service that people want. What we're hoping and what we're expecting is government, London government, realise this and step in and do what they should be doing.
Is it the government that should be funding this? Is it London government that should be funding it?
It's either government or London government. The London government, the LDA, has funded us for 8 years. They've been very, very supportive, and we're looking for them to continue to be so.
And why is there a situation where they stopped funding you and left a gap?
Our funding ran out on the 31st of March.
But either the funding continues, so they put new funding in place. Why is there a gap now?
We've bid for another tranche of funding. The decisions on that, which we hoped would be made in March, will not now be until May, June, at the earliest.
And what do they expect to happen to the long-term unemployed during that time?
Honestly, I have no idea.
What would happen to them if you stopped funding them out of your own pockets?
Well, the people that we serve wouldn't get help. They'd remain unemployed. They'd remain with a lack of confidence. They'd remain with a lack of direction,
Only
lack of
for a
focus.
couple of months, though, because presumably you will get funding in a couple of months' time.
Yeah, but there'll be a different tranche of people. People are unemployed all the time. There's lots of people. We've got really busy classes. We can't afford to close down because there's so many people who want to use our service.
How many people do you help a year?
We help every year at least 400 or 500 people.